Welcome to the first episode of the Pokemon Snap High Score walkthrough. We'll be covering the Beach course, the first course of the game. Right off the bat, we'll be making use of an unintentional technique, then we'll make some precise Pester Ball throws, play our flute, and coax some shy Pokemon out of hiding. A little of everything for this first course. Let's begin. Pidgey. When the course starts, push C right 12 times, then look behind you. Pushing the C buttons like that stalls the vehicle so you're up close to the first Pidgey when it coos. Snap a photo of it with as many other Pidgey in view as you can get. I don't have anywhere near the best score here, so experiment with how often you push the C button and when you snap the picture. Doduo. This one is simple and at the same time agonizing. Doduo will jump out close to the start of the course, run past the rocks, and then along the rocks on the sand towards the tracks. You need to hit it with a Pester Ball at the right moment to knock it out and snap the photo. Any later than this and Doduo will be too far away to get the full size points, and you must knock it out for full pose points. This will likely be aggravating because Doduo's body can clip into the level geography, making you lose some size points. Try to take a photo in the middle of the fainting animation with good timing, and also toss an apple towards the surfboard to get Pikachu out of the way. There's a chance he can obstruct your photo. A second Doduo is also found later on in the area after the bridge. You can try to get a picture of this one too, just be on point with your Pester Ball tosses. Oh yeah, and I also think it's cute that Doduo can actually run over Pikachu if he's in the right position. No point to it, just thought it was amusing. Violence is funny! Pokemon sign. Oh yeah, I don't know if I have to point these out, but for the sake of completeness, here's the Kingler Rock, the Pokemon sign for this level. Snorlax. There's a rather garish Snorlax sleeping in a bush. The best photo for him is obtained by playing the flute, but you have to play the third song on the flute by pressing the button 3 times. This is one of the very few situations where you get a different reaction depending on what song you play. Unfortunately, it appears to be impossible to go much higher than 3900 with this since Snorlax's body clips into the bush. The world record for this is 4040 points though, so keep trying different things, I guess. Meowth. There's a Meowth on a hill waiting to surprise you. Return the favor with a Pester Ball before you turn the corner, then play the flute. Any song will do, and it will get Meowth to do an amazing dance. Now all you need to worry about is timing it right so that part of his body doesn't get cropped out by the frame. You don't need to worry about pose so long as the flute is playing. Full size points, that's right! Scyther. Just after Meowth is a large field of grass with a Scyther running around. You can flush him out with a Pester Ball, after which he will do a fighting pose worth a lot of points. The key here is to hit him as close to you as possible. This is made difficult by the fact that you can only see the rustling leaves at first to determine his position, so it can be hard to know where to aim. Get him as close to you as possible for full size points since the pose is already taken care of. Something I also discovered is that it's possible to get the Meowth in the area to permanently block you, holding the vehicle still as long as you keep hitting him with Pester Balls. If you get locked in place like this, it's the perfect way to stop Scyther where you want him to be, and it also gives you more time for this next shot. Pikachu. There are several places throughout the game that have Pikachu in them, but this one is the best score you can get without an exploit we'll talk about in a future course. Right after the first Scyther are a pair of stumps. If you flushed out Scyther earlier, a pair of Pikachu appear here and get on the stumps, which is worth a hefty bonus on its own for some reason. But if you play the flute, they'll send out lightning bolts for an even more shocking pose. I recommend trying out different shots here, photographing each Pikachu, using the C buttons to slow down and give yourself more time, and so on to find the best possible photo for you. Butterfree. One of the most annoying photos in the entire game. Butterfree are scattered throughout the stage, so it's not hard to find them, but the place with the most potential for points is the bridge after the 2 stumps. Butterfree will fly over the bridge, however it's completely random if they stop, where they stop, and when they stop, and I haven't found any sort of pattern to their movement, so whether they stop close enough for side points, or whether there's another in the frame for the bonus points is up to chance. More so when you consider that you have to take the photo when their wings are spread out if you want full size points. Jeez, why did they have to flap like that so quickly? Chauncey. Not long after the bridge is a Chauncey rolling around with an Eevee, but you have to hit the Chauncey with a Pester Ball. For the best pose, toss it some food and photograph it eating. This isn't too hard, you can get Chauncey pretty close to you, and she's a big Pokemon. I also absolutely love the picture I took. It's not a perfect shot, but it looks totally hilarious. I also think it's amusing that you can actually see Chauncey's polygons. There actually aren't a lot of curves on this body. Eevee. This one is simple. To get the best score with Eevee, hit Chauncey with a Pester Ball as mentioned, then toss an apple at Eevee, which will make it happy. Try to lure it close to you for full size points. Again, the direction it's facing doesn't really matter if it's eating, but it's nice to see Eevee's face in the photo. I got annoyed because Chauncey's butt kept getting in the way of Eevee's butt. The best way to solve that is to try to snipe Chauncey as soon as you're in that area. Then throw the food ahead of you so Eevee hopefully walks over to it. This could take a couple tries, but it's not impossible to get a good score here. Lapras. There are multiple spots Lapras can appear. There's one right before Snorlax, one across from Scyther, and a third right before Kangaskhan. Look out at the water and take a picture of every Lapras you see. Each time you do this, more and more Lapras appear, with 3 of them appearing in the water just after the area with Eevee. Not much you can do to get a good size score though, because of how far away they are, and you have to get lucky to get the other 2 Lapras in the frame as well. Kangaskhan. The last Pokemon for the beach area is Kangaskhan, one of my favorites. First get her, yes, her, to face you by hitting her with a Pester Ball. She'll get angry and come over to yell at you, which makes for an excellent photo, but you can actually get a pose worth even more points if you play the flute for her, causing her to start dancing. If you're having trouble getting her to move towards you soon enough, try slowing yourself down with the C buttons. That concludes the overview of the beach course. There are some other Pokemon that can appear here, as well as additional special shots, such as Surfing Pikachu and Gust using Pidgey, but these aren't worth as many points as what I've gone over. Next time we take a look at the tunnel course. Hey, how is it possible for there to be a power plant on this island if humans have never touched it? Then again, how are there functioning warp gates and train tracks for... Oh, never mind. See you next time.